video is about flipping, which means reselling NFTs from VeVe. Of course, the big money maker is getting into drops and getting the NFTs whenever they're released by VeVe. That's when you get them for the cheapest prices. I think pretty much everyone today is worth more on the secondary market than it was when it was originally released. So there's two main points to this video. The second one, which is important, of course, is to make a profit. But the first point and the most important point is to not get scammed. We're dealing with virtual currency and virtual items, and we're dealing with off-platform transactions, so it's very important to be safe and to not get scammed. The marketplace is open. There's plenty of people who are going to want to do their transactions off of the marketplace, mainly because right now you're not able to swap gems for OMI tokens, so you can't then take your OMI tokens out of your wallet into another wallet and swap them for US dollars or Bitcoin or whatever it is. So there's really no way of getting those gems off of the platform. So a lot of flippers, of course, are going to want to get cash money that they can get that second instead of gems, so they're not going to be on the marketplace even when it is open. Okay, so if you're going to be selling your VeVe NFTs off of the application, there's some things you need to know about it first. Of course, the first thing is that VeVe is putting out a statement already saying that over-the-counter purchases, what they consider it, off-app purchases, are not covered by them. So they're not, if they're not secure, they're not going to replace your NFT for you. So, like I said, it's very important to make sure that you're being safe and not getting scammed. So when it comes to doing transactions that are not in the in-app marketplace, your goal is to, of course, not get scammed, and no matter what you're doing, you pretty much have some sort of chance of getting scammed. Now, there is one way when you're doing off-app transactions that you definitely 100% cannot get scammed, and that is if the other person sends the item to you first. So one of your goals that you should think about is being the person who sends second in a transaction, whether it be the money, the gems, whether it be the NFT. The person who sends second can't get ripped off, of course. So in order to be that person, the person who is sending second, you have to have, the other person has to trust you. So in order to get that trust, you have to build a reputation. You have to have people who you've dealt with in the past who can vouch for you. And in order to build that reputation, you really need to find a platform that you like besides the VeVe marketplace, of course. One platform that you can focus on and do your selling and your buying and your trading there. And the reason for that is because you want to build that reputation so that people know who you are, and when you're dealing with other people, whether they be new or old, you can be the person who sends second and you won't ever get ripped off. Okay, we'll go over some of the platforms. Like I said, it's smart to pick out one platform that you like and stick to that. So we'll go over some of the available platforms to make transactions on. The one that I prefer is Facebook. Over the last year, I've done a lot of selling and buying and trading of baseball cards and basketball cards on Facebook and Facebook groups. I have a eBay store, and I've done eBay for about 10 years, and I have a store with a lot of feedback. But I still do my card deals mostly on Facebook because you get better prices there, and it's easier to sell stuff there because you're going into different genres of baseball cards, which is not maybe the same as VeVe, but for VeVe you only have 2 or 3 groups, and once you're in there for a while, you start to get to know who you can trust and who you can't, and that's a good way to maybe get some of your first trades in with somebody that you're pretty sure you can trust. You're at 95-99% not getting ripped off, and then they can vouch for you later on, and when you're make you the second person on the receiving end of a trade. Okay, let's just go through real quick some of the differences between the in-app and on-app transactions, buying, selling, and trading. Of course, if you're on the in-app, when it comes to security, you're 100% secure, and that's important to keep in mind because when you're off-app trading, you're not 100% secure. So even whenever you're dealing with somebody, even when you're dealing with an escrow or somebody who's an admin to a Facebook group or a Discord channel, you're still at 99%. I mean, you're never 100%. Like I said, unless you're the person who is receiving, not sending second, or not sending first. Okay, another important difference between in-app and off-app purchases is the currency used. If you're doing in-app, your only choice is to use gems. And if you receive gems, like I said earlier, you're not able to convert them yet. And right now you can't take your gems and turn them into anything that you can remove from the platform, so they're of course stuck there. And of course, one of the advantages to doing off-app transactions is that you can use any type of currency. You can use USD dollars and go through PayPal or through Cash App, and you can get gems. If you need gems for the coming drop or something, you can always sell for there. There's people who are going to buy it in any type of way that you can think of, whether it be Bitcoins or even Ethereum, or sometimes I've seen people selling and buying and selling in VeVe NFTs with Ethereum. Okay, let's go over some of the platforms that are available for selling, buying, and trading your VeVe NFTs. And one of them that I mentioned earlier was eBay. This is my eBay store that I've had for a while, and as you can see here, I have 1,100 feedback so far, positive feedback. And it's important to note that if you're trying to sell, especially a virtual currency or a VeVe NFT on eBay, and you have 0 feedback, people are probably going to be wary from buying from you. And I saw somebody earlier who was in a Facebook group, and they sold their upcoming secret rare Ultraman 2D cover artwork in an auction on eBay, and it only sold for $800, and he was kind of upset about it, and he was asking why. So I took a look at the auction, and you can see that he had 0 feedback, and he also didn't have a very good description. And buyers, especially on eBay, are afraid of getting ripped off, and they're not going to buy from somebody who doesn't have any feedback. And the same goes the other way. If you're looking to buy stuff on eBay, you don't want to buy from somebody who doesn't have any feedback. Another platform I use to buy, sell, and trade VeVe NFTs, and my preferred platform is Facebook. I had this page pulled up though to start to show something that was released recently. When we were talking about a second ago the secret rare Ultraman 2D art cover, somebody had asked about when they were going to be released, and Dan C is one of the main guys for Ecomi and for VeVe, and he gave the sign that it's coming out next week. But this is, like I said, Facebook is a great tool to use to find people to trade with and to build a reputation, so that whenever you're trading, you can be more confident that you're not getting ripped off. A good way to find groups to join to trade with and to sell and buy your NFTs is come into the Facebook search bar, search VeVe, and go to groups, and they're all going to pop up right here, and there's only 4 or 5. And let's see, this one right here is one that I like a lot. I think I'm in all of them, and this is one too. And it's important to know how many members are in each one, because of course if you have one with 1.4 thousand members and one with 4,000 members, obviously at least 2 more people, or 2 times as many people, are going to see your listing whenever you decide to try to sell something. Okay, so when you're buying and selling and trading on Facebook, if you're new to it, then like I've said a few times now, you have to build your reputation. And when you start out, there are certain people that you can feel confident in trading with, and the first thing I would do is just stick around and join and read and maybe even interact for a few days before trying to buy or sell or trade or anything, because as you do, you're going to see people who post a lot and people who show their collections and have giant collections. And one thing you can think about is that somebody with a really large collection who is an early adapter and has, like, you know, the ultra rare Harley Quinns or something, that's not somebody who's probably going to be wanting to rip you off for your Mermacorno. There's Harley right there. Okay, so whenever you're join one of these groups, if you want to do a trade with somebody, maybe somebody's selling something and you're interested and you're saying, I want to buy this Becky Cloonan, and you don't know this person or anything, and you talk to them and you say, I want to buy it, and they say, okay, let's buy it. How are we going to do this? You send it to me first, and of course you're going to say no. Let's say, let's use an escrow. And escrow, of course, just means basically how it works is the person who is selling the NFT sends the NFT to another VeVe user who is trusted. So, for example, an admin of this group right here would be a good example. I mean, it's, of course, like I said, it's always 99%, but you can think that when a scammer scams somebody, they're not going to come back. They might change accounts and come back that way, but they're not going to come back and try to sell or buy some more after that. So an admin's not going to change their account, an admin. So that's always a good person to ask. So whenever you're in a group like this, it's easy to find out who the admins are if you just click the members tab. And it's going to tell you right here, admins and moderators. So then you can always just click one of them and send them a message, or of course if you're on a post like the post we were looking at earlier, and you're just typing in the comments that you want to buy it, and you say, hey, we need an escrow, somebody will probably step in, one of the admins, or you can just tag them and they'll come in there and be able to do it for you. And of course I'll show you this other group, which really comes in handy, is it's its own escrow group. And if you're a member of this and you want to do a trade in another group, if you're already a member, you can just come in here. If you're getting ready to do a trade with somebody and you need an escrow, you can just come into this group, and like you see here, somebody can say, hey, I need an escrow, and one of the admins or moderators will come in here and say they're available, and they'll set it all up to where the person selling the NFT will send the NFT. Did I even finish that? So the person selling the NFT will send the NFT to the escrow, and then the person who's paying for the NFT, or whether they maybe be sending another NFT if it's a trade, will complete the trade by sending it to the first person, and then the first person will let the escrow know, hey, I got it, it's all good, and then the person who's being escrow will send the NFT back to the second person. So then the trade is complete and nobody is gonna get ripped off. You have no chance of getting ripped off there, and there is still a chance. We'll get to that. Okay, so another popular platform for people to trade or buy or sell NFTs on is Discord, and there are probably several Discords for VeVe, but there is only one official Discord, and you might have to look that up on, I think if you look at the Ecomi Twitter or the VeVe Twitter, you can find it in there pretty easily. And once you get in here, you have a general chat, and there's lots of people in here that buy this. I think this is all chat. You probably I don't use Discord a whole lot, but there's different channels set up just for trading, buying and selling. So as I was looking through the channels of the Discord, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of buying and selling that takes place on the off channels. I guess people maybe say what they want and send each other direct messages or personal messages, and there's probably lots of other VeVe channels. I know that some guy was well known on Discord as an Escrow, and he even had the VeVe account at Escrow, and he was gaining a lot of trust for a long time, and he was being just used as an escrow for some big deals and everything. And then apparently the story goes that one day about a week ago, he was still taking in NFTs for escrow, but stalling on delivering them, and then after a couple of hours, after stocking up a whole bunch of them, he just disappeared. So I did go in this morning to the general chat and ask if that story was true, and a couple people said it was. I don't know all the specifics. It's kind of just a rumor coming from me. I heard it on Facebook or whatever, but I did see, I'll put his little thing up here so you can see it. And so that's something to think about. So like I said, you're not really always 100% safe unless you're the person that's sending second. Another platform that people like to use to trade their VeVe NFTs is Telegram, and a lot of times you will see people advertising to come to their Telegram channels on in Facebook groups or even on Discord. And so far, everything that a lot of the scams that I've heard people talking about have happened to them always happened to them on Telegram. And I've never even used the website, and I would personally advise against using it at all, because it seems like that's where a lot of the scammers hang out. I would stay away from Telegram personally. Some of the other platforms are Twitter and let's see, Instagram and Reddit. Reddit might work. It's a good place to get news. I don't know if people are buying and selling there or not. I'm assuming they are. But the problem with all of these are that they're not really centralized as much as something like a Facebook group or even like eBay, to where you have more trust in the buyer and the seller. Okay, guys, let's get a little deeper into the flipping aspect of VeVe NFTs. Like I've always said, I've been a reseller for a while, and every business is reselling in one way or another. So whether you're flipping fast or flipping slow, some important notes that I've discovered when it comes to NFTs buying and selling that I want to point out to you guys. The first one is to sell your ultra rares right after the drops, and the reason for this is because a lot of people are going for the ultra rares, and a lot of people are putting all the gems for the ultra rares in their account before the drop starts. And if they don't get the ultra rares, they already have the gems in their account and they want them, so they're going to be going looking to whatever platform it is that you decide to use, looking for ultra rares, and they're going to be ready to buy. It's actually a good time to sell any NFT because, like I said, they're going to have gems in their account. They're ready to buy. Maybe they wanted to buy 4 or 5 of the drops that came out and they only got 3. Well, they still got some extra gems in there. Maybe they'll go look to see what's available, and right then is a great time to sell your NFTs for maybe even a little bit more than what the market value is at the time. Second one would be to trade your commons, your uncommons, and your rares for ultra rares right after the drops. And the reason for this is because a lot of people get multiple ultra rares, whether it be accidentally or on purpose. Probably mostly on purpose, but I have seen it happen on accident as well. And they have multiple ultra rares, and they maybe want to complete the set, or they just like the NFTs for that set. That's why they're there for the drop, and that's a good time to maybe get a good deal on an ultra rare, trading your commons and your uncommons, or putting some type of little package together, keeping an eye out on people who got more than one ultra rare. Alright, the last one, the third one, is to buy or trade right before drops, and that's because people want to add gems to their wallet right before the drop without having to charge their credit card. So they're more likely to buy at maybe above market value prices at that time. So that's another good time to buy or trade right before a drop starts, and to do that for people who are wanting to add gems to their account for the coming drop. Okay, let's do a few more tips before we go. If you're selling your items, something that I learned from selling baseball cards mainly on Facebook is that if you price your items, you have a lot better chance of selling them. A lot of people will put their item up there and say, somebody make me an offer or whatever, and you're gonna have a much better chance of selling your item if you have a price put on it. So it's important to the second one is to determine the price that you want for your item, and then once you do, you might want to price it a little higher and make a best offer on it. So let's say you think that this is worth $200, you'll put it up for $250 or best offer. Maybe somebody buys it for $250 or offers you $225, or maybe somebody offers you $150 and you say, no, meet me in the middle at $200. You're still getting what you want for it. And a good way to determine the value of your NFT at that time is to mainly use the platform that you decide to go with for trading, whether it be Discord or eBay or Facebook, whatever the prices are at that time. You kind of just look around and keep an eye on it. But there's also the Butt Spreadsheet, and Butt is a guy that's I can't remember his full name. I just call him Butt. I think he likes going by that. He's a real fun guy to watch on YouTube. I'll put his channel up here for you. But he also has a spreadsheet that's a little better than the one that I pointed out to you a few videos ago. This one he keeps up to date really well, and I think it's pretty much based on eBay prices, so it's a little bit higher than what I use, but I do use it, and then I just bring it down a little bit going off of Facebook, because the eBay prices, you don't know that all of those actually are getting paid for. Some people will bid something up and then never pay for it. Okay, another tip would be to look for people who are posting that they want to buy something. So if you have, let's say 3 or 4 NFTs that you want to sell, and you're scrolling through your Facebook group and you see where one person says, hey, I'm looking for Jason Fabok Batman, and that's one of the ones that you have, then it's a lot easier to sell it to that person than it is to make your own post and have them come to you, especially if you haven't built up a reputation yet. And the last tip would be to pay attention to edition numbers and especially if you're a long-term collector or even a long-term flipper, it's important to think about the number of editions of something made. For example, I traded my Corsica that I picked up for $200 right before the DeLorean drop to another person for Mojo Jojo, and now the Corsica is an ultra rare and the Mojo Jojo is a rare. However, there were more Corsicas made than Mojo Jojos, so which one is really more rare? So I thought that was a good trade to make, and that's the reason why I did it. I'll point out a couple more trades to you guys that I've made recently just to show some of the off-app trading that I've done. The Corsica that I mentioned a second ago was purchased for only $200 right before the DeLorean drop, which I thought was a great deal, and then right afterwards it seemed like a lot of people were on Facebook selling the Corsica for about $200, $225, or $250. But according to a couple of the people who have the marketplace already open for them in the app, the Corsica is going for like 500 gems minimum on there. So a couple of people were scooping those up pretty quick, and I'm sure they were either selling them on the marketplace or waiting for their marketplace to open up so that they could. Another recent trade I made was for some of my Myrmicornos and Unicornos. I just grouped them all up together. I had 9 of them. I had Fumo and 4 of the uncommon Myrmicornos. And at the time, I think OMI prices were down to 0.0007, so I thought it would be a good idea to put those up for 65k OMI tokens. So at the time it was about $500, but now it's about $600. So, and the last trade that I made was last night, and it was a pretty exciting trade because it was for $1,000 worth of NFTs, which are these 3 NFTs, and I traded, that's what I received, and to get those I traded $1,000 worth of baseball and basketball cards. And the person, or the only way I was able to do that is that the person that I was trading with trusted me enough to actually send the cards to him, especially since he lives overseas. And I trusted him enough to take the time to sit there and make that deal with him. But I did tell him that, of course, you have to send me the NFTs first because it might be a month before they arrive to you. But this is somebody who I've been in Facebook groups for a long time. This is somebody who's been an early adapter and has way more NFTs than I do and way better stuff. So it was a good deal, and we trusted each other, so I had no problem working out with him, and I'm going to be packing those up and shipping them off to him tomorrow, actually. Okay guys, before I go, let me leave you with one more thing, and that is some YouTubers to watch when it comes to VeVe. And recently, Earth to Mastery put out a video last night that had a lot of information about some of the upcoming drops and some, I guess they're leaks, maybe they're not leaks, but some information that I had never heard before that was pretty exciting about some AR gaming that might be coming. And you might want to check out Earth to Mastery. I'll put all the links down here, Earth to Mastery's last video. And the second one I want to point out is his name is Jikh. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but he's actually a really big YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers. And either yesterday or the day before, he actually put out a video about OMI and OMI tokens, and he actually revealed that he has invested $150,000 himself. And the video was really good and well made, and it talked about, you know, some of the upside and even some of the downside of investing in OMI. And it was a good video to watch. You should definitely check it out. I'll put that link down there as well. And of course, Jikh, I think it's Gagain, or yeah, I'm gonna say, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he does a lot of live streams, and he talks about OMI all the time on Twitter, and he even gives away OMI tokens during his live streams, and he's followed by Ecomi, and he's got a cool YouTube channel as well. So okay guys, that's your VeVe Vault, and if you're going to be doing transactions off of the in-app marketplace, just make sure that you're doing them safely.